Hello R129 owners and other convertible Mercedes owners. Please watch this video. I have been struggling with this problem for the past 2 months and I have doubted everything. Every micro switch, every cylinder, even the pump, even I checked every single lines to be in the correct port. I couldn't find this problem until today I solved this issue. Please keep watching this as there is no other video telling you about this problem. First of all, apologize about my voice because of flu. So after replacing all of the rear cylinders seals, including the tonneau cover, the bow cylinder and the rear locks, I had this problem that my roof operation was super slow and sometimes the lock wouldn't unlock without tapping on them. And also the process would stop with pump stopping in the middle of lifting the bow, and the bow itself couldn't lift itself. So I have been thinking about all this issue past month. I even ordered a used pump to check my pump pressure, and I tried to check everything that is wrong with my pump, and I couldn't figure out. I replaced the pump and the pump was not faulty actually. But now I think I have found what was the problem. So I went and looked at all of my videos and found out that I might have problem with the bow extension because bow lift was impossible. So there was no power whatsoever to lift the bow, and this was interrupting the whole process and sequences of the top. So I came here, I took off the top pin, and as you can see, this is the bow cylinders, and using with my handmade tools I pulled the top off, and here is what I have found. So I unscrewed the top cap and I found this situation over here. So upon putting back, installing back everything, the piston seal was broken and bad. And here is a piece of piston seal that I took from inside the cylinder using a chewy gum. So I anticipated this situation and I knew that I probably have an internal leak. So I ordered one of these piston seals from this company. This might help you. Well, I thought I'm going to get 2 of these, but unfortunately I received only 1. So I'm going to replace 1 only at this moment. I am not sponsored by these guys, but you probably will find these guys are the only people selling these piston seals. So what am I going to do? This is a very special piston reels, first of all. Second, it took me about 2 weeks to get this part, 1 seal only, and it costed me 34 Australian dollars, which is a crazy amount to pay. So as I mentioned in my previous video, if you have such a situation, what happens is fluid comes from one port of the cylinder trying to push the piston back or forth, but because of the internal leak of the piston seal, you will get all the fluid out from the other port without being able to energize and move the piston, and the mechanism and the whole system will slow down because of that kind of leak, which is called internal leak or internal bypass. So the only way to solve this problem is replacing the seals for the piston and checking that everything is good. So that's why we are going to do this today. And if you ask me how did I moved everything from here without even taking apart everything, I mean the lines and the lower pin, well, that was easy. I have a lot of access from here when the bow is up, so you can easily take off the cap using a special tool, and that's what I did. So how on earth I'm going to take this, put this new seal back? Taking off this broken seal is easy. There is one internal seal in there as well that I'm going to take off. That's no problem. But how am I going to put this one back? Well, let's find out. So removing was easy because I could force these two out with no problem, and as you can see, it's out. So with a little experiment, I can see that my magnet does not absorb the shaft very well, but it absorbs the piston very well. So these are two different materials, and I can say this from over here. So it looks like it's screwed on, but to be honest, I'm not 100% sure because there is no material at all. And even this booklet over here says that replacing the piston seals is a professional job and you need to send it to get rebuilt. So I am left with my own experiments. What I can do, because there is no seals on here anymore, and I think there is Loctite used over here, I can heat up this shaft to see how I can remove this. So let's see. Probably I can put back the green seal, but putting back this Teflon seal is going to be problematic because it's not flexible and I cannot stretch it to go on the actually piston. So something started to smoke into the air, and that can be a good sign because the Loctite, I think, is getting burnt. So I can probably rotate this piston using some tools and being careful not to damage the piston or the rod, and then trying to take it off. Okay, I tried to unscrew this piston and I failed. So I'm going to try to put this one first. The green seal goes first. Let's see how it's possible. I have lubricated the seal, so okay, this is the first seal, it's in, and now I need to put the second seal in. And that is easily done. So you don't have to be worried so much. Just gradually and slowly put the first seal, lubricated first seal in, and then go ahead with the second seal, gradually and slowly lubricate it and put it in. So there is no need to remove anything, and that's now done. So what I'm going to do is to lubricate everything again and check to see if my internal bypass or leak situation has solved or not. And simple as that, internal leak only on one cylinder caused all these trouble. The last 1 month I was racking my brain trying to find out what went wrong. And that was only one piston seal that was bad, causing internal leak and lack of fluid pressure in the system, causing all sorts of trouble, including very slow and locks having trouble unlocking, and also the sequence getting stuck at some point. So I had all sorts of symptoms due to one reason, one bad piston seal. So guys, there you have it. This is probably the first video about internal bypass or internal leak for R129. Unfortunately, not many of the cylinder rebuilders want to reveal all the secrets about the issues, and sometimes the odd things happens, and this is what happened to me, and it might have happened to too many people as well, causing all sorts of problems and the roof for R129 not functioning properly. So how did I find out that my right hand side seal had this issue? First of all, when the roof wanted to lift this bow, it didn't have much energy at all. It couldn't lift itself. So I thought it could be one of the bow cylinders having this bypass situation. But I could never believe myself that this one cylinder can cause all sorts of trouble with the rest of the process as well. But this was actually the situation. Okay, let's operate the roof. So as you can see in the video, the fluid keeps coming back to the container with the roof stopping in one process. So as I mentioned, if we keep getting back the fluid in the container, that means we have an internal leak or bypass in the system. And the most probable cylinder for this example is the bow cylinder. If the return of the fluid into the container stops at one point, that means the pump has not enough pressure to lift one of the cylinders. Okay guys, sorry again for my voice. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe and share this video to other R129 owners who have this sort of problem.